There has been a challenge, before we talk about your journey, there's been a challenge of us seeing more of special moms and not special dads. There are not very many special dads, or there are not very many men who come up as special dads. In your opinion, why is it that we only see moms more and not dads more?
Mostly you get, yes, there's more moms than dads. You get mostly dads run away. Maybe they don't want to take up the burden, which is true. Taking care of a special kid is hectic, it's heavy, it needs a lot of finances. And there's that thing maybe they see as shame, which is not correct. So you get many marriages, many relationships break because of that kid living with disability.
Hello, this is Beyond Disability. We bring you stories beyond the myths and misconceptions, above the social stigma that exists within within our community about disabled or differently abled children. We talk to families, we talk to mothers, we talk to fathers on their journeys in raising their special children. And today here we have a guest that is going to talk to us about her journey. And recently her story was sensational, and we are intending to hear from her on what it has been for her after that time and even her journey way before that. Karibu sana. My name is Jairus Kibagendi. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Mama Shujaa. Maybe you could introduce yourself. Besides being Mama Shujaa, you could give us a bit of more introduction of who you are besides being Mama Shujaa.
My name's Edna Mukeira Nyamanya. I have a diploma in community development, but nowadays I do baking, which it sustains us. I'm a single mom taking care of a special baby. It's called Shujaa or Michael. He lives with cerebral palsy, now 4 years old.
Amazing. Asante sana. Let's start with, I know we have seen you on newspapers, we've seen you on interviews, but recently, during the first season, your story was a bit on the limelight. How was it for you at that time handling backlash from social media and a lot of people talking to you about the kind of person you are, raising this child in a way that is different from every other special mom?
Cyberbullying is there, and it's not easy being bullied. Sometimes maybe the people see us writing our stories, doing our stories about our kids, and they usually have negative perception. Maybe they think we want to benefit, especially in financial support. Maybe you are doing your story so someone to sympathize with you, but at this era, most of us, we are doing stories to create awareness about disability in the whole. So most of the people, they have that negative thoughts.
They think you're doing this to gain sympathy, votes, and get financial assistance. But in essence, what you're doing is creating awareness, and even inspiring those who have special children who have not come to terms with the fact that they are special moms or special dads, and taking up the role to intervene early enough.
Exactly.
There has been a challenge, before we talk about your journey, there's been a challenge of us seeing more of special moms and not special dads. There are not very many special dads, or there are not very many men who come up as special dads. In your opinion, Why is it that we only see moms more and not dads more?
Mostly you get, yes, there's more moms than dads. You get mostly dads run away. Maybe they don't want to take up the burden, which is true. Taking care of a special kid is hectic, it's heavy, it needs a lot of finances. And there's that thing maybe they see as shame, which is not correct. So you get many marriages, many relationships break because of that kid living with disability. But for a mom, you need to be strong because you carried that baby. You went through that pain. So it's not easy running away from your kid, but the side of the dad, they see maybe you did something which is not correct. Maybe from your place, there's something you did which is not correct, or maybe the culture, maybe they say, in our family, we don't have a kid like that. Maybe it's from your place. And maybe they don't want to be seen raising that kid.
Okay. So there's the shame, there's a lot of myths and misconceptions in the understanding and even their families. And sometimes these marriages end from them pressuring their family, pressuring them to, you know, for the marriage to end, you know, saying we do not have this gene
in our
family. And you realize then they exit the marriages, leaving it all to
the burden is always for the moms.
Amazing. We celebrate all moms who are special moms. It's not easy. We understand that raising special children comes with a lot of, it's very taxing emotionally, in terms of time, in terms of finances. So it is very brutal for anyone to walk out of a child's life, a child that you have brought on earth with your partner. I don't think it's a very fair thing to do, walking out of that child's life. We'd like you to talk to us about your journey since the birth of Shujaa. Or, you know, when did you identify that he's a special child? What has been the interventions that you've ensured that you take him through so that his welfare keeps being in a good space?
When I went to labor to give birth to Shujaa, I had a prolonged labor. So I labored for long, and the doctor decided I should be done an emergency CS. So Shujaa was born through CS. And when he was born, he didn't cry immediately. He didn't cry immediately because alikuwa ashachoka, alikuwa amekaa kwa muda mrefu. And Shujaa, he had a cord like twice in the neck. So the journey of cerebral palsy, I can say it started after birth because it didn't cry immediately. And the hospital I went to give birth to Shujaa, I think they also messed up because they never put Shujaa in the nursery, because most of the kids wenye na wanazaliwa wenye awali, they're supposed to be put in the nursery. Or oxygen. Shujaa was never put in oxygen machine. So he had difficulty in breathing. Wakati nilimpata akunyonya. Because I was new mom, so there are so many things zenye si kujua. So Shujaa, he never breastfeeded that the whole day, the whole night, akunyonya. So the only thing niliona akipewa is something using a syringe. I think maybe ni maji alikuwa anapewa ndio asidehydrate. So the following day Shujaa, he started twitching and the eyes started rolling. He started having difficulty in breathing. So at that moment, that's when we decided to seek a referral. At least we changed the hospital to took him to another hospital. He can be attended well. So we were referred. We went to that another hospital. He was put in breathing machines. And later it was discovered he had jaundice. So he was also put in phototherapy machine to clear the yellowiness. Iwa kwa yellow wakati wa jaundice. So the cause of CP for Shujaa, it was due to prolonged labor. And at some extent, I can say there was a lot of negligence. Because if they noticed they could not handle the situation, they could have referred us immediately.
That's for sure.
Maybe angepata that disability, but maybe aingekuwa severe, because for Shujaa CP is severe. Yeah.
All right.
After that, I was staying with his father at that moment. So during the whole journey after birth, being referred to another hospital, he never participated in anything. He never called me. He never came to visit in the hospital. And you should also know that the bill was ilikuwa ina rise day by day. So we stayed in hospital around 3 weeks, close to 1 month, but he never supported me. He never came to see me and the baby. So I struggled alone in the hospital. That's the time maybe I told him maybe the baby could have a certain disability because the way the baby was convulsing, that difficult in breathing. So I just knew there will be something wrong somewhere. So that's the time he told me, when we are being discharged, we should find a place to stay. So yeah, after hospital.
So he ended the marriage by telling you, after being discharged, you find a place to stay.
Yeah, we just separated like that.
And before labor, was he in your life?
We were staying together, yes.
Okay, so it's between this time of birth and labor, birth, and the challenges with health for Shujaa.
Yeah.
Must have been a very difficult time for you at that moment.
Yeah, it was a very mixed reactions because the bill was the two of us, me and the baby. And at that moment, I wanted just someone to be close to me, maybe to tell me things will be well.
Just moral support.
Yeah, I'm there for you guys. But that never happened. So I was just me and me alone, and seeing the baby just convulsing. The whole journey was a little bit in trauma. Yeah.
It must have been very traumatizing for you.
Yeah.
And, being there, wanting someone to at least hold your hand, and there's no one for you. And at this point, so your marriage is ending. You have a child who is now you've identified is special. The bill is high. That moment can be very psychologically disturbing.
Yeah.
And for most mothers, actually, can lead to postpartum depression.
Exactly.
We would like to know, how did you get out of this? How was the bill sorted? How did you get to establish yourself after your marriage ended?
So I had NHIF. But NHIF haikuwa ina cover everything. So my friends, my family came in. Then they did just a small contribution. Then we paid the bill From there, I went to stay with a friend for me to heal because it was CS. I did CS, alafu tena ikakuja ikapata complications. So I had again to go back to theater. Still the baby alikuwa ni mdogo, the baby had complications. So I just needed someone around me. From there, at least nikapata nguvu. Then I came home because Shujaa was born October. I came home December, at least to heal the baby, agro kiasi, nipate nguvu. Then I start life again. So I went back in Nairobi in February to start my life again. I just started life, hivyo tu pole pole, and we are here now.
After you had a child and it's a special child, it must have done something to your career, since it's very time consuming and it requires a lot of attention to raise Shujaa. Were you in a work setup that required you to withdraw from that and get a more flexible kind of a hustle for you to sustain yourself?
Yes, before I got Shujaa, I was working. So after I got Shujaa, it was very hard for me to go back to work because Shujaa needed a lot of attention. Kids living with disability, they usually need a lot of attention because it's not easy leaving your kid behind and you go maybe to work full day.
Yeah.
So I decided to resign. I didn't have any choice because I was me alone and Shujaa. So I was forced to resign just to be there for Shujaa. And since Shujaa was firstborn, still my firstborn, so there was a lot needed. Lazima ningelearn. It was a difficult journey. Hata kama ningeenda job, juu bado singe concentrate. You still there's that healing process.
Yeah.
There's that uko stressed. Unafaa ku accept the situation, the journey. So special kids wanahitaji a lot of time na wanahitaji a lot of attention. That's why you get a lot of mothers wanaacha kazi ya kuajiriwa. Maybe those kids maybe wako very severe. Even getting a caregiver, a house help is not easy. As we know here in Kenya, hakuna that good strategy the kids living with disability. So ilibidi mimi niache kazi. I become a full caregiver of Shujaa.
So, well, you started by, in introduction, you said you are a baker now. Did you learn baking over time, or it's a skill you knew before, or it's a skill you learned after Shujaa and decided you needed something that you can do within your house setup so that you also sustain yourself?
After nilihil sasa, I started looking for a job, but sikuipata kazi. So last year, I posted in a certain group, I'm looking for a job so that I can be able to take care of Shujaa. You say unaona sasa niko mimi peke yangu, so I need to hustle for Shujaa's needs, my needs. So one lady inboxed me and told me, I think Edna, you can just do things like baking so that you can have that time to take care of Shujaa. And he sponsored me a little bit. So I went somewhere, I trained. At least na mimi nikaona it's something I can do at the same time niko na time mzuri ya kutake care of Shujaa.
Yeah.
So nika train tu kiasi and just I started like that. So me, I do bake from home, then maybe I deliver or they come to pick. For me, I can say it's good so far because niko na time ya kumwangalia. Kama ni feeding, kama ni therapy, ninajipanga tu mimi tu ni mwenyewe.
Amazing. So how do you manage to maybe order for what you need to use in your baking? Do you have a house help? How do you, when you need groceries, when you need stuff, how do you go around that?
No, sai sina house help. Getting a house help ni mwenye anaweza akakukalia na mtoto anaishi na ulemavu. It's not easy because most of the people, I don't think if they fear, but they see it's a lot of work, which it is, yes, it's a lot of work. And they usually ask a high pay. House help, awezi akakuitisha ni pesa ziko chini. So they usually ask a lot of pay. So for me now, everything I do with Shujaa on my back. Kama ni kudeliver, I do deliver with Shujaa, or I just use things like Uber. They do deliver. Or customer anajikujia ni mwenyewe kwa nyumba. Most of my customers know niko na Shujaa, na Shujaa anaishi na ulemavu. So most of the time they know. But most of the things I do with Shujaa on my back.
I have heard you mention therapy. How frequent do you have Shujaa go for checkups or get therapy sessions?
For now, we are OT, occupational therapy, and hydrotherapy. I usually do it twice per week. We do hydro and occupational therapy.
Are there specific goals that you've identified with the therapists that you'd want Shujaa to attain? For instance, if there is any, say, motor skills or strengthening of bones.
For now, I can see Shujaa is trying to hold his neck. Hapo ilikuanga inaanguka before, but for now, if he's sitting, he's struggling to wake up. So I can see there's a positive side of therapy. Yeah.
So the neck is becoming a bit stronger.
Yeah, the neck is becoming a little stronger.
Amazing. So I'd like to know the other mothers probably who have special children. Do you have a support group that you belong to where, say, it's mothers who are special mothers, or there are mothers with children who are living with cerebral palsy? Is there any of a support group that you belong to?
Yeah, there are a lot of support groups where you just join. At least those groups, they help you because those parents, they are in the same journey like you. They understand your challenges better. So I am in a lot of supports group, which they help me. We learn a lot. We share a lot. Yeah, I'm in a lot of support groups.
Amazing. So in these support groups, I understand there are like international days for cerebral palsy, international days for when you come together to celebrate these days, or when you come together, besides the information that you gain from each other, are you guys looking at maybe an association, or do you belong to the National Disability Council? Is Shujaa registered, or is there any association that has been formed or that you are a part of?
Yes, Shujaa is registered under National Disability Council. He has a card, and I'm not in any other organization apart from support groups. Yes, there are the days for international, maybe World Cerebral Palsy Day. That's usually in October, whereby we come together and we arrange. Maybe we meet somewhere, we go, we invite people like social workers, like psychologists who come, who talks to us, maybe therapists who talk to us, and usually March we usually it's Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month, March. So during March we just usually talks a lot concerning CP, a lot concerning what parents go, they face challenges day by day, how the society looks to us, how the society takes us. So during March, we usually talks a lot of challenges we go through and the whole about the condition, yeah, the causes of the conditions, why maybe your kid rolls a lot, maybe why my kid has not sat at this age, maybe why my kid have not enrolled him to school. So during March, we talk a lot.
So it's a month for you to explore a lot of
we create more awareness.
Amazing. As we start to conclude, do you feel like we've created enough awareness, or what's your view on the way society views special children?
I can say the awareness bado ijafika the ground the way inatakikana, but the government, the organizations are trying day by day. But I can say like for the rural areas, the awareness is still low because there's a lot of stigma. There's that bad perception. Maybe the people look towards the parent, maybe the kid. So more awareness need to be done. People, the whole society, they need to be educated, because you get those parents, because of the stigma, they just choose to hide their kids. Unapata tu mtoto amekaa kwa nyumba even the whole month. Even maybe the neighbors don't know, maybe somebody somewhere, maybe he or she has a kid living with disability because of stigma. So a lot of awareness needs to be done.
Amazing. I'd like you to talk about your business, because I understand that not all the time that we can get well-wishers who can come through for us, especially now that it's very demanding financially to raise a special child. That hustle that you have, that skill that you have, that you put your sweat into, is a skill that you can entirely depend on to help you financially. I'd like you to talk about your business to our audience and invite anyone who has, a need for cake to contact you, and how can they reach you so that they get to grow your business.
Before I talk about the business, I would like the people to know that taking care of a special kid is not easy, because there's a lot of things need to be done. Like for the kid living with cerebral palsy, that kid needs to go to therapy, because the therapy is the only medicine. Those kids need to see a neurologist, because most of the kids are using anticonvulsant, and their lives, they need to use their convulsant day by day. Most kids do special diet, like you need to blend. Some kids eat through tubes. Some kids do speech therapy. There are assistive devices like wheelchairs, scaffolds, sitting aid. Those kids need them in their day-to-day life. There's a lot of things around a kid living with disability. So when we do our stories, it's not that we need sympathy. We are creating awareness, because maybe you can see your neighbor or someone somewhere akona mtoto kama huyo, then you can educate the parent. Also, you just learn about what is cerebral palsy, the whole thing in it. So for me, I do bake cakes in Nairobi. We live in Kasarani. And Facebook, I call myself Edna Nyamanya. Edna, EDINAH, Nyamanya. And also Shujaa has his page. It's called Shujaa, My Cerebral Palsy Journey. Also, if you are within Nairobi, maybe you can call me, you can SMS, you can WhatsApp me. My number is 0716956260. Just feel free to reach out to me.
Thank you very much. We'll be sure to share that number for anyone who would like to put an order for cake, or just anyone who would like to support. Like she's elaborated, it's very, very tough, very, very difficult to raise a special child. I mean, from her journey, you can just get it, how much it takes for you to be there in this child's life presently every day, and you can't do anything else outside your house very comfortably. That is very taxing, so financially. So we're calling out for any sort of help. If you'd like to order for cake, please do so. If you'd like to make your just donate to Shujaa. You help him continue with his therapy. We'd really appreciate that. As we finish, what could you like to tell a mom who was a special child of any nature, who has not accepted that she's a special mom and she needs to start giving interventions to a child?
First thing I can say, I know it's not easy. That's what I usually tell people. It's not easy and it will never easy. Having a special kid comes with mixed reactions because we never prepared ourselves to have that baby. Everyone anataka akue na mtoto mwenye ako sawa. The baby who will attain milestones day by day. The society is very rough, but you need to have a thick skin. So if you are a parent, maybe a caregiver, a father, a mother, and you are having that baby, the first thing you need to do is to accept the condition of your baby. Because in this journey, if you will not accept, then you will not move on and you will not start early intervention for your kid. So accept that you are a special parent. Accept that your baby has special needs. Try to heal. Then seek medical information from hospital. That one will also help you. Try to join support groups. Through those support groups, you will learn more. You will walk with those parents in the same shoes. That one will help you not to hide that kid, but to bring out that kid. Be the voice of your kid. Talk about the condition of your kid. Never hide it. I know there's a lot of stigma outside here, but be the spokesperson of your kid and love that kid and just do the necessary. I know it's just hectic in part of finances, but just try to do what is available. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Edna, for sharing with us. Thank you for highlighting your story. And thank you for creating the time. We came all the way and they've allowed us to talk to you about your story. We're hoping that all this we do is to keep creating awareness and keep inspiring people and change the narrative as it has been in our society. And we are hoping that through this journey, if you're a special parent or you have a relative or you are a caregiver, this should inspire us to keep putting in the work, to ignore the negativity out there. And this is also a call for all of us to be a little more kind. In a time, in a space, in a world where you can choose to be anything, choose to be kind, because this world needs a little more kindness. Thank you very much for tuning in. We hope that as we keep bringing you these stories, we keep making a change in your life and in the lives of people around you. Thank you very much.